for abnormal activity on Shock Radio with Charlotte Ramplin.
Hello, I'm Charlotte and you're listening to Abnormal Activity on Shock Radio. We are here to unravel all the paranormal activities going on in your city. Alicia is currently in the escape room in Manchester right now, trying to break out before the end of the show. Do you think she'll be able to do it? Tweet us in at hashtag Alicia's Escape with your thoughts. Coming up on today's show, we visit one of Manchester's most haunted buildings. Yes, that's Smithers Hall. And yes, I do really get quite scared at that. I also have my future read by a psychic. We hear all of Manchester's spooky stories on a haunted ghost walk with Flecky Bennett, and we find out how to bless a house from evil spirits. But first, it's time for the Ghost Hunters Weekly News with Tom.
Shock News.
Hello and welcome to Ghost Hunters Weekly News. I'm your news correspondent Tom Edge, and here's our most recent headlines that are spooky, scary and just a bit silly.
Get on with it!
Over in a Hampshire club, CCTV cameras were able to pick up what is assumed to be a ghost walking through the halls of the establishment. We here at Ghost Hunters Weekly News and Abnormal Activity believe that he may have been on his way home after partaking in some spirits. In other news, one mum's had more than she's bargained for after an unearthly presence has cast its way into one of her photos. Young mum Natasha Bowden was taking selfies in her flat on Friday the 6th of November to discover that a ghost had loomed into some of her photos. We tried to reach out for the interview, however, we've had no response from the ghost in question. Finally, a ghastly ghoul seems to have come between a couple that Jeremy Kyle needed to step in. The host was met with a problem on the 10th of November edition of his show, and the girlfriend of a paranoid man in question confessed that a possible suspicion following cameras catching a shadow running across the garden. It's fair to say her boo didn't appreciate it. That's all the time we've got for today, but tune in next week and we'll have more spectral stories and terrifyingly true tales. Now back to Charlotte in the studio.
Thanks for that, Tom. So in the studio with me today is the one-man ghost hunter himself, Scott Harrison. Scott is known throughout the YouTube world for visiting some spooky locations throughout the UK to try and contact spirits and spectres from beyond the grave. Hello, Scott. How are you doing?
Morning. You okay?
Yeah, I'm not bad. Are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah. Thank you.
So Scott, just tell me, how did you get into ghost hunting?
Well, originally, years and years ago, so I was a young lad. I was quite interested in it. Used to watch Most Haunted.
Was you interested in Most Haunted?
Oh, absolute avid fan of Most Haunted. I absolutely loved it. And then Derek Okura got found to be a fake. Totally destroyed my faith in it, and I just stopped believing in everything. And
really?
To do with paranormal.
So you stopped believing it, and then how did you kind of get back into it then? Like now?
Well, I decided to go and prove it all wrong.
Okay.
I bought a spirit box.
Right.
Went out in the graveyard with it, turned it on, said, hello, Harrison, hello.
No.
Said my name, the first words out of it, and I thought, all right, maybe there is something here after all.
So instantly, do you just think, like, oh my word, this is real, how did they know my name?
I thought it was very odd that they knew my name, but I also thought it could just be sort of radio picking up, so I thought I need to look at this further.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing now, really.
That's what you go out, yeah, and do. Where is the scariest place you've actually tried to contact the spirits?
Probably the last one I did. I went down into the woods, and it was old mills that have now totally... There's nothing left apart from it's a few bricks on the ground, and it's all overgrown with trees. That was a bit frightening, because as you're in there, you can just hear noises everywhere, and you can't see anything, so... I don't know, it just puts you a bit on edge while you're doing it, but I didn't like that much.
Do you not get scared on your own as well?
No, because originally when I first went out, I didn't believe.
Okay,
so
you
there was
thought,
nothing
I'm not
to be
get
scared
anything.
of.
No, there's no chance, yeah.
And then since I didn't get any harm or anything, all I've got is talking to them since then.
Yeah.
Nothing to be scared of, really.
So how does the spirit box actually work? What does it do?
It's just a radio receiver, and it transmits through every single frequency, all the way up, and then once it gets to the top, it starts again and just keeps going through.
And then is that when you pick up, like, kind of, you can pick out if someone is trying to contact you, like you asking questions?
Yeah, they use the white noise, which is just the noise that comes out. They use that white noise somehow. I don't know how they do it, you know. I didn't make the thing. Just bought it to prove it wrong.
And now you're really sceptical about it.
But yeah, they talk over and they'll do a full sentence.
Really? It's amazing.
I don't know how.
Well, me and the team, Alicia, Tom and Alex, actually went out with Scott on one of his ghost hunts just last week. Yes, we went to an actual cemetery, didn't we, Scott?
We did.
In the pitch black and the pouring rain. So here's what happened.
Coffin should be for dead people. The eerie pitch black. The loneliness.
If there's any spirits around and you wish to speak to us, I'm going to turn on this box in my hand. It's called a spirit box. If you speak towards it when it's on, we'll hear you, and hopefully we'll be able to have a conversation. I'm going to turn it on now. If you wish to speak to us, please do so through the box with the blue light. Are there any here spirits wish to communicate? Please come forward and speak to the box. James or Annie Derbyshire, are you here? Or any of the other family? Hello? Can you please say your name?
Dan?
Did you hear Dan then? Yeah.
Dan?
Are you alone? Or are you here with other spirits? Could you show yourselves to us? Can you please come in front of us? I'm here. Caught things like orbs. I believe that is, when they're moving, that is their form. Not always visible. Sometimes visible with the naked eye, sometimes only through infrared. And I think that is their energy. In fact, on my last ghost hunt, it said we form in an egg. I get these answers, I don't always understand them. They maybe, instead of calling it an orb, perhaps they call it an egg. Orb is probably the wrong word, but it's what we know it as. I think if we head through towards the back there, we'll get to the older ones. Okay.
It was only the umbrella. Oh, I'm not going to be good at this at all.
You'll be fine, don't. I don't know if the rain helps or stops it or what, I don't know. I've been told by a few people, because I get a lot of people talking to me about just general spiritual stuff. Now, people who I never knew had an interest in it just come up to me because they know I have. And they say things like, oh, you ought to do it near water. It's really good for bringing on the spirits. All the theories you hear and all this sort of stuff. I don't know. It's all speculation at the end of the day. I thought I saw something in front of me. Just through the corner of my eye, I thought I'd seen something. It's just whether you believe it or not. It's weird, and I totally believe it now. I've gone from total sceptic to just total unquestioning believer.
It's fair to say that it's all down to speculation.
So how old do you think these graves are, Scott? 1918?
Actually, no. 1953, 1980. They don't go back that far, actually. Give that a try.
1899.
Hey, they lasted quite long. 53 and 62 years old, both of them. 90 years old! Wow, she done good, Margaret.
They had a good life.
My word, they must have been rich or something, because how did they even survive with, like, in those days? Or is that just me being stereotypical? Wow, 90 years old though.
She must have eaten a lot of fruit.
Should we go for it? Are you ready, Scott?
Right, well,
In the midst of life, we are in death. What?
should we
Why
ask them
did
what
you
that
say
means?
Yeah.
Abel or Margaret Radcliffe? Are you there, please?
In the midst of life, we are in death.
Could you please? Hello? Didn't normally play music. Is that Abel? Eliza, are you here? We just... Hello?
Someone's here.
What are your thoughts on tonight's results from the ghost hunt?
I think we didn't get too much, but we got a few voices at that on the first grave that we went to. I'm pretty sure that we've got something there.
Well, that was an eventful night, wasn't it, Scott?
It certainly was.
It was a cold one at that, anyway. You did notice a few screams in there. I did get scared because, an umbrella flew inside out and I could have ran a mile. Literally, ran a mile.
It wasn't the best conditions to do it in, was it? Really windy, really rainy, but
you've got to go out there and try and catch some ghosts, haven't you,
Yeah,
Scott? You never know what you're going to get.
we did our best with it. But I don't think
we got some good stuff, but when we stood at that grave, that Dan, we stood at the grave and one of the people who'd passed, he was called Dan, and we said, Dan, are you there? And he said, hello, Dan. What did you say? He said, Dan, hello. That was it.
Yeah. They seem to say the names and then hello, or your name and then hello. And
yeah. Do you get that quite a lot, like them saying? Because you say like Harrison, hello to you.
Yeah, that happens every time I go out. It's like one of the first things that comes out. It's as if they're sort of saying, you know, like, yeah, we know you're here, and
then you turn round and decide to go, can you show yourself? So me and Alicia nearly run another mile. I thought, you can't show myself, I'll collapse to the floor.
I actually asked him as well that night, which is something I've never done before, if you can touch one of us.
Oh my word.
Now, I don't do that when I'm out on my own, because if I'm just stood there on my own and I go, oh yeah, I've just been touched, it's my word. No one's going to believe that.
I mean, you've never been out with anyone else before, apart from us.
No, so I thought I'd partly try that just to see if somebody did get touched, and also I just wanted to frighten you a little bit as well.
Frighten me a little bit, Scott. Oh my word, my heart nearly fell out. Literally nearly fell out. But I thought what was weird as well, we went to take some pictures, you know, so you can see if you can catch any orbs or anything like that. And weirdly enough, my phone, you all seen it, my phone was on 35%. And it just went dead. As soon as I tried to take a picture, bam, wiped out.
Yeah.
Wiped out. Why do you think that was?
It does tend to affect things that sometimes where it drains batteries. They use electrical energy, which is I think why the spirit box works, because they're using the electrical energy. And I think if they're just getting... I've had it where they've been trying to speak through the box and they've put too much energy or something
and it
to
just
it.
Blew out.
Yeah, well, it's just sort of... It turns off and it sort of gets a real bad noise first and then it turns off. And I think sometimes it just... The electrics get affected.
Wowee. So yeah, we did try and communicate with some of the supernatural there, and many people do claim to have a supernatural ability actually. These can be seen as psychics and mediums, so I mean it's kind of a broad subject, so how would you define the difference between these two? Well, psychics are people who say they have multiple supernatural talents, such as the ability to peer into a crystal ball to see the future, or discern your fate with a deck of tarot cards. Through powers beyond explanation, psychics claim to be clairvoyants, people who see the past, present and future, whereas mediums are actually different from psychics, obviously, in that their claim to fame is communicating with the deceased or spanning the physical and spiritual worlds. I think we tried to be a medium there, Scott, we did.
Yeah.
We did. Turned ourselves into mediums for the night.
The box is my medium.
So I went to see a psychic called Linda who specialises in runestone readings. Runestones are usually to look into the destiny of a person. They may not always be certain, but they suggest an outcome of what may happen down the line. So let's see what Linda and the runes have in store for me.
Charlotte's Web of Destiny.
I've been doing these 25 years. Every stone has a symbol. Every symbol has a meaning.
Each symbol's unique and have their own meaning, much like McDonald's have the McFlurry and Burger King have the Whopper.
They are 99.9% accurate.
99% accurate. Not sure how true that is, but then again, if Sillet Bank can kill that many germs, then who's to say it isn't true?
Normally, these runes are from up to 3 months and then onwards.
They read up to 3 months, much like the warranty on my car.
I may go back, I may go forward. It depends. I'm going to turn them over now, Charlotte. I'm going to talk to them a little minute about you, okay? Then I'm going to ask you to choose 5 runes. Okay, but please only point to them because there's only my vibrations on my runes.
Hands off them runes.
Okay, on. I do want to say to you though, have you got a nanny spirit?
Well, yeah, I do have a nanny spirit, but she's no Mrs. Doubtfire.
Because your nan's come to me, I'm sort of smiling at, and she's put her hand on your shoulder and she's telling you to make the right decision for you, because things are going to change. All right, you've had some upsets, been told about the upsets. All right, darling. She loves you very much. She loves you dearly.
And yeah, I love you too.
Okay. And can you give your mum a kiss for her? All right. Does that make sense, Chick? Thank you. Because I do feel that. But I do feel with her, she's brought a male with her as well. There's a male with her. I don't know who he is, I'll be honest with you, but he is with her, and you need to know she's not on her own.
I hope that's my granddad and not another man.
I also want to say, there has been tears around you. Can you wipe the tears now? Because you're quite a strong girl.
I didn't cry at Marley and me, but yeah, I am strong.
What should happen now? They should stand out to you, the ones that you want.
Now, I choose my 5 99.9% accurate runes. Choose wisely, Charlotte. So, that was my lovely intro there by Linda. So the runes were laid on the table on a small blanket, and I did choose 5 stones, which appealed me to the most, at random. I wasn't allowed to touch them runes, of course, she would have smacked my hand, and, smacked my hand. So yeah, I think it was strange, like, some of the things she said there, like, she just randomly said, do you have a nanny spirit? I mean, how did she know that I was to have a nanny spirit?
I think we've all got nannies, haven't we?
Oh, Scott, you're not sounding so strong on this one.
I don't go in for cold reading stuff. I think it's all nonsense.
More to the medium, rather than the psychic, yeah.
I think when they're sort of guessing at things and saying, oh, you might have a spirit nanny and all this lot, have you got one? Shouldn't be asking, have you? Should be telling you have.
Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. So throughout the show, you can find out how these magical stones looked into my past, so I was going through and in the present and read the possible events of the future. I'll be back after this quick break.
Nowhere to run to and nowhere to hide. There's only a room and you're trapped here inside. With 5 unique settings, all scary and chilling. There are clues to be found, laced in stories so thrilling. Now the clock's ticking, you just get 1 hour. Survive with your life or succumb to its power. A challenge for all, but it's not all you think. If you make it out, you can go for a drink. Have 2 to 6 people have a time so unique, it'll stretch your minds to their very peak. Socialise with your friends for alternative fun. The environment's charming and can't be outdone.
So that was a bit of the escape room for you there. The escape room is actually a unique experience where the participants have 1 hour to figure out how to escape. So Alicia is locked in room 13 right now, and her 60 minutes are counting down to in sync with the show. So she started the same time as us. You do not need any special knowledge to solve the puzzles inside, but all participants must work together, be creative, observant, and communicate effectively.
The Escape Room on Shock Radio.
So, Alicia, are you there? Can you hear us?
Hello. Hi,
Hello.
Charlotte. Hello.
How are you?
Oh, we're trapped inside. It's literally terrifying. There's hardly any lights on, and we're literally stuck in what looks like a lift right now.
A lift?
Yeah. We're like.
Why are you stuck in a lift?
Basically, the story is we were supposed to be on our way to the country on a country break with Sam and Liam here, and our car broke down on the way there. So we've had to go off and find somewhere to stay for the night. We've seen a caretaker. He said we can stay in his hotel. We get in, the lift breaks down, and it's haunted, and we've got 1 hour to escape.
So you're currently at the starting point in this lift?
Yeah, well, we've been in this lift for 19 minutes and we just can't figure it out.
Are you joking? You're never gonna get out.
We don't know where to look for clues.
You're never gonna get out. You better Sam and Liam. You better get trying to sort this out here. 2 men and Alicia. What's going on?
Well, it's literally so tricky, you've got no idea. Liam's going insane because he just can't think of what to do.
Okay, so is anyone haunting the lift?
It's so strange.
There's so many creepy ghost-like sounds going on, but it's just
I'm a bit
spooky.
worried you've been in this lift 19 minutes.
I'm a bit worried, but we've been in this lift 19 minutes.
Are you scared though? Are you scared?
We're really scared.
That's the main
I think
thing.
we're scared because it's been 20 minutes now and we're just...
Right, well,
so
we're going to
hard.
leave you guys to disappear more into room 13. Don't be stuck in that lift anymore, I hope you're not. And we'll check back with you later on in the show. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
You're listening to Abnormal Activity on Shock Radio.
So, as I mentioned earlier, my destiny is being predicted by the lovely psychic Linda and her runes. Over 1,500 years ago old and still being used today, runes have predicted the destiny of many famous actors, singers and personalities over the years, believe it or not, Scott.
I do.
But you didn't know that one. From the likes of Michael Jackson, Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, Oprah Winfrey and even Ringo Starr. So, as Linda said, each stone has a symbol and each stone has a meaning. And the sell-by date is unless you're 3 months. Well, I suppose you just have to wait and see in that one. So let's have a look at the first rune I chose at random.
Charlotte's rune stone reading.
So the first one you've chosen is called Wire.
Wire, I love that series.
Now, Wire is your past. This is telling me in your past from being 9 years old, I'm being told, you've always known what you wanted. You're quite a strong character, actually. You can be quite scary when you want to be as well. And you've got a bit of... You're quite focused, but you can have a temper on you as well. All right. You're very soft. I also want to say that... all right. Even though you've been quite straight on your path, when you were about 15 or 16, you changed your mind about things. You didn't want to do what you decided to do, if that makes sense to you. Does that make sense? I don't know what I'm talking about. I will tell you because I'm in spirit now, so whatever comes out my mouth comes out my mouth, okay?
Okay.
But you made the right choice because there was choices for you, but you also had your heart broken when you were younger as well, because I'm being told about that. You trusted too much and you don't trust as much as you used to do. Does that make sense? Oh, thank you, because it's just talking about your past, like I said.
So that rune was called Wire and it was from my past. A few things, I don't know, a few of the things that were said there, Scott, I'm not sure. I mean, somewhat, well, I'll tell you what, one of them was actually pretty true. It was a bit about me changing my mind, like with what I wanted to do when I was older. When I was 15 and 16, I did want to be a forensic scientist. But
That's the sort of age that most people change their mind on careers. It's quite an easy guess to have that, really, I think.
You're not feeling this, are you, Scott?
No. When I first got into back into this whole thing, I did look up things like cold readings because I thought, to do with psychics and that, it just intrigued me. And from what I've found is it's... A cold reading is that, it's just nonsense.
Yeah, so you think she's just taking random guesses at me and hoping
I can
take it.
You change your mind on your career at 15, 16, I think everybody does. I
Fair
could be
enough,
wrong,
fair
I could be
enough,
wrong. But
Fair enough. So earlier this week, me, Alicia, Tom and Alex went on a Manchester ghost walk with someone called Flecky Bennett. We did walk the streets of Manchester and found out how haunted they really are. Here you can find out more.
Welcome to Flecky Bennett's Manchester Ghost Walk.
Follow me, my friends. So, let's begin. Follow me into the Victorian courtyard. Here on the back streets and the passageways, I'm telling you many well-documented true ghost stories. I'm going to tell them because they can't. Because they're dead! Not a flinch. What you're looking at here is the exterior shot to Hogwarts in the Harry Potter films. It's been used many, many times to replicate the House of Parliament. It's been used for Peaky Blinders, Ripper Streets. Just last week we had Bill Nye here filming a new film, so it's used time and time again. This is Manchester Town Hall in a courtyard, and it's haunted by the ghost of a Victorian policeman. He goes mental. He bangs on windows and he slams doors, so tonight we're going to see if we get a result. PC 666, are you there? Very quiet, isn't it? PC 666, as I like to call him, has been a bit quiet tonight, but as I showed you as you came down here, this is not open to the general public. Every now and again they have it opened up as an open day. 2 years ago, 2 Japanese tourists went to the receptionist on the second level. She said, listen, you've only got 10 minutes, have a quick look around. If you want me, I'll be sat here reading my Heat magazine. And she felt a presence to her right-hand side. She assumed it was a Japanese tourist, so she carried on reading. She quickly turned to her right to see the ghost of a Victorian policeman standing this tall with a cape that finished at this height. And he walked slowly down these stairs and out through that green door. She followed him into this courtyard and he turned right into this building here. If you can see on the window there and there, just about make it out, it says police. She followed him inside the police station and down to the police cells which are underneath our feet. At that point, PC 666 vanished. However, the receptionist remembers him smoking a ghost pipe. And the security officer smelled the smell of pipe tobacco. Then you see a dark figure walking past. It happens almost on a nightly basis. Ask him if you don't believe me. The smell of tobacco and a dark figure is incredibly active. But we're going to leave here now before we get done for disturbing the peace. Follow me to our next location on Flecky Bennett's Manchester Ghost Walk. Behind the Central Library is the Midland Hotel. Have any of you lot ever stayed?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah, I have.
Anybody else stayed at the Midland? Oh, you stayed with some very good company. Sir Winston Churchill used to stay there. Pavarotti, Frank Sinatra, take that. The Wanted, what an ironic name. Rolls met Royce inside that building. The Beatles were turned away for their silly haircuts. But the most famous person to fall in love with the Midland Hotel was Adolf Hitler. And he fell in love with the building so much so that when they were bombing Manchester, he instructed the Luftwaffes not to bomb the Midland Hotel because they had succeeded in invading this country. He's going to make that his palace and his home and run this country from the Midland Hotel. That's a true fact. Wow. And it's based on documented accounts. So imagine you check into the Midland Hotel, you have a bath or a shower depending on how much you spent on your bedroom. And you get into your nice clean gym jams or your nice clean nightie, whatever you prefer. You get into your nice clean sheets. And you yawn and you stretch and you turn out your table light. And as your eyes get accustomed to the darkness, you see standing at the end of your bed the ghost of an old woman looking at you. Then she turns and she walks out through the door. And when I say through the door, I mean through the door. It got so bad that a few years ago they changed the bedroom into a storeroom. And they will not say where that storeroom is now. Turns out the old lady used to live at the hotel before the war, which was quite commonplace. We've all seen Fawlty Towers. And she didn't like anybody living in her bedroom, so she's now resting in peace.
So that was our little ghost walk around Manchester with Flecky Bennett. He is quite comical, isn't he, Scott?
Yeah, he sounded really interesting and entertaining.
And I tell you what as well, I think if you do get a chance to go on one of these ghost walks, he dresses up. He full on gets into his character. He goes in, he wears like red contacts, he's got like some long suit on, and he's just shouting. I think people were walking around, people are thinking, look at that nutter over there, what's he playing
Well, I get a lot of that when I'm out, but
when you're in the graveyard, so your spirit box trying to
people do look at you and you just carry on with it. But yeah, that was I mean, stuff like that. I love stories and stuff like that.
Yeah,
about
it's quite
places.
interesting because I didn't know much about Manchester.
Yeah,
and the history it has and ghosts is quite amazing.
I don't think you're ever going to see much on one of these things, though, are you? I don't think that's the idea of them, is it?
No, you won't see much, but nice to know, I suppose. And he also said about the Hitler bit as well. The Hitler didn't know Hitler loved the Midland Hotel as well. That was kind of.
I don't see the relevance of Hitler, to be honest. I think they're just adding that in to make it more interesting or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, Hitler, he had a brother that lived in Liverpool, and I know he had quite strong links to Liverpool, so I've never heard of his links to Midland Hotel, so I don't know, I think it's just embellished a bit into that. And the Luftwaffe weren't that accurate.
I think it should be called Scott's Ghost Walk instead of Flecky Bennett's Ghost Walk now.
I don't see how he could have told the planes not to attack a certain hotel, bomb Manchester but leave the Midlands.
Yeah, that's actually really true. So Manchester is pretty old there, and obviously we did learn a lot going around there. So yeah,
I'd be interested to do something like that before a ghost hunt there, just to get some information, maybe.
Yeah, maybe go to the actual places that he mentioned to see if they actually are haunted.
Yeah,
so that's your next job.
Charlotte's rune stone reading.
This is you at this moment in time. Beautiful rune you've chosen for a beautiful lady. This is called Ing, and it's a sign of celebration. So there's a get-together for your family coming, okay? This could be, I'm not putting a christening on you, but this could be a christening, it could be a wedding, it could be an engagement or a special birthday. There is a special birthday coming up for somebody, I'm not quite sure who it is, but I want to say, watch around your friends' word, there's going to be a celebration. Does that make sense, hon? Thank you, because they're talking about the celebration around your friends, all right. I don't know if you're in a partnership, that's not my business, I don't want to know, but I do want to say, if you've not met the love of your life yet, it's coming. It's definitely coming. You know this, though, because you're quite psychic in your own right.
Yes, I'm psychic, if you didn't already know.
You are aware of spirit, quite aware of psychic sides as well. This is why they chose that one for the spirit, okay? Go with that gut instinct, please, because you need it.
Gut instinct, got it.
I want to give you the month June or July. I don't know if that's a birthday or an anniversary, but they're talking about June and July.
June and July. It's quite far away, that. I'm sure that's more than 3 months.
Okay, and I want to say around June and July things will change for you. You're on your right path now. I feel really nice. I feel happy about you. Does that make sense, hon? Thank you. Thank you, Spirit.
You're listening to Abnormal Activity on Shock Radio.
Well, that was my pretty true reading from Linda. Scott's not really happy with that. He's like shaking his head when he was listening to that. I mean, the thing she said as well, I recently had been to my friend's birthday party. My friend actually was having a birthday party, she said about that, a celebration, but she didn't say celebration, she's like, it could be a christening, it could be a wedding, she wasn't really specific.
Yeah, she's
she
left her
knew.
options open there, hasn't she?
She would have knew, and then obviously she's waiting for me to be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I mean about the cold readings. They're just picking up information off you, and then half the things they guess at, like you've got a gran,
Yeah, and then she said
like
June
that,
and July. I'm pretty sure earlier on she said
3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
So, Linda, what are you playing at, Linda?
I'm not convinced at all.
But I don't think it was as accurate as she claimed it to be. You never know.
No, and she says you're psychic.
Yeah,
but if you was, you wouldn't
I'm
be there. You wouldn't need to go to her, would you?
Wow, that's pretty true. Didn't think of it like that one. So we actually had a chat to some other psychic ladies. One talked to spirits and one blesses houses of negative energy. As we've heard from Linda, some people can ask spirits to guide them in doing psychic readings for people, and Rachel is one of them, feeling the energy of a person to see into their mind. Carol, on the other hand, goes to people's houses and gently removes spirits from them. We did get them both on the phone, and we asked a couple of questions, so here it is.
Can you explain a little bit about what you do?
So how a reading normally works is you connect to somebody on a psychic level, and you'll see what's going on in their life, and there'll be situations in their life that will come clear to you, and then usually then the vibration or the energy that comes in close to me starts to increase, so it's more intense, and then you're working with a spirit.
With this, I tend to use white sage, which is an old Red Indian thing, and I tend to bless and start. I just start from the corners and I just walk around and I just say a prayer of protection around it. But I use a lot of visualisation techniques as well.
What was your first experience with a spirit or a psychic presence?
It must have been about 3, and my parents had bought a terrace property and somebody had hung themselves in the back room. So I told my dad, and my dad asked the man who lived there before, and it turns out that his son had killed himself in the room, and I picked that up. So that was my first kind of experience of knowing that.
I've actually been psychic all my life, and I started my development of that in the Spiritualist Church under the care of Sheila Hillu. That was about 11 years ago, and during that time she taught us how to do rescue. We refer to it as soul rescue.
So that was some good stuff there from Carol and Rachel. I mean, they do both communicate with the spirits, and obviously they mention some of their own experiences. What do you think about that one, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a friend who's a medium.
Okay.
He's given me quite a bit of advice on what to do. I didn't know he was a medium until after I'd got into this again, and it came up in conversation. And I certainly do believe that some people are sensitive to spirits, some people can talk to them. The box I use is just picking up radio waves. Well, we might be able to sort of pick up on the energies of that. I do absolutely believe that that's possible.
Really? So you don't believe in the psychics, but you believe in the mediums?
Yeah, because they're just sort of dealing with facts. I mean, people who sort of say, I can predict your future, or tell you stuff from your past, and then start asking you a load of questions. Well, just tell me, you don't need to ask me any questions. You should either know or you don't.
Okay. So the last thing we want is for our listeners to become affected by these gruesome beings. So we sent Alex to make us a how-to guide on blessing your home to get rid of those ghosts.
Can you explain a little bit about what you do?
So how a reading normally works.
It's showtime.
If you've got a ghost in your house, or an unwanted spirit hanging around you, you can get in touch with the Winchester Brothers, maybe hire the Helsing organisation. Ask the Mystery Inc. gang to uncover the truth, or even call the Ghostbusters. But in case you can't find them, you can always have a go yourself. I'm going to talk you through the best methods to banish any evil ghosts haunting your house.
The power of Christ compels you!
Step 1 is to identify your problem. Not all ghosts are bad, some are even helpful, but you know your space, and if you're uncomfortable, no matter how friendly your ghost is, you might want it gone. Check behaviours of the spirit and figure out if it's a poltergeist, a haunting spectre, or a simple apparition.
Anything strange. Cold spots. If you smell anything weird, maybe sulfury.
Once you know what you're dealing with, it's time to clear them out. Before you stop by your local church and ask for an old priest and a young priest, simply ask the spirit to leave. Be polite but be firm. Something along the lines of, "This is my home, you're not welcome here, please leave." It should do the trick for any of the nicer apparitions. Some ghosts aren't fully aware that they're ghosts, or even dead, so you might have to break the news to them, but be gentle about it.
We're very unhappy. What did you expect? You're dead.
It could be that they have unfinished business with the living, or simply don't realise they died and wish to go about their business. Helping them come to terms with the situation might give them a little push to the other side. Now some spirits are a little more stubborn and may need a more forceful command to leave. Similar to before, make your demand clear. Be direct and be forceful, but stay polite so you don't anger the spirit. If it's a poltergeist or something trying to scare you, make it clear that you're not afraid. If it's not scaring you like it wants, it might just give up and leave. By this point, if your visitor hasn't left, they're either too rooted to the place or they're not listening to you. This is when you call in your backup. If you're religious, you go to your holy leaders, your elders or your scholars, and you see if they'd be willing to come down and bless your house. Other spiritual beliefs encourage you to clean and declutter your house to get rid of any negative energy and invite a more positive feeling in, which might help to get rid of any nasty spirits lingering around. Other ideas suggest finding what is tethering the ghost to our world, what's stopping it from moving, and removing that. Some say that a ghost can only remain here as long as there's something for it to hold on to, which could be an item that once belonged to them, or a task which they need to accomplish. These people claim that covering the item or body in salt and burning it should send the ghost to the other side.
Burn its bones, the ghost disappears.
If they have business in this world, it might be worth helping them to complete it, so that you and they can rest. Certain items are good for getting rid of ghosts, such as salt, which is a symbol of purity, or sage, which is used for cleansing and healing in many cultures. The idea is to remove spiritual impurities that manifest or attract ghosts. If none of this works, and you don't have a proton pack handy, well, I'm afraid you're dealing with something very powerful, and sure you don't stand a ghost of a chance. Your best bet is to leave and hope that they don't follow you. This guide should help in most situations. I've done all I can, the rest is up to you.
So, Alex knows his stuff when it comes to blessing a house or two. To be honest, I don't think I'd know what to do if I had a ghost in my house. I think I'd probably just move out.
I think it might follow you though. It could be attached to you. See, the spirits attached to objects or people or different things all the time, so you're not necessarily going to get rid of it by just moving.
Are you joking? So they can actually follow you?
Yeah. They're more than likely going to be attached to an object normally, or a place.
But they can get attached to you?
But yeah, they'll attach to people.
Oh my word. So you'll have to remember what to do if you are ever trapped with a ghost. It's like you're trapped with nothing to do but suffer, like a university student. Oh no, speaking of which...
Room 13.
So, Alicia, are you there?
All my life, Charlotte.
How's it going? Well, you sound really troubled. What's happened?
We're out of the elevator.
Oh, finally. Good to hear that.
But we're in the hallway now. The lights have just completely gone off.
You're joking.
We can see an Ouija board.
Oh my word, no.
There's been alarms going off. There's been God knows what.
Do you feel like someone's in there with you, not just you guys?
What was it?
Oh my word. Oh my word. Just try your best. We are rooting for you.
Yeah. Do you think we'll be able to do it?
Yep, I think we are rooting for you, Alicia. You can make it out there, but I've got 50 quid saying you'll make it another 10 minutes, so you better prove me wrong. What about you, Scott? What are you thinking?
I'm hoping she doesn't. I want to know what happens when she don't make it out.
Alicia, Scott doesn't want you to make it out. You decide, you decide.
Wish us luck, we're going to need it.
Well, we are. Let us know how you got on. We will check back with you very soon. So we'll see you later.
See ya, thank you.
You're listening to Abnormal Activity on Shock Radio.
So that was Alicia with her OB. She sounds pretty rude, doesn't she, Scott?
Yeah, I'm a bit worried for her, actually.
How the heck is she sat like in a friggin', I don't even know, stood in a hallway with a Ouija board at the end? I think I'd just collapse.
I'd like to know what she's got to do with that Ouija board.
Yeah, so that was really like mental. Like I couldn't imagine myself being in that situation.
No, I wouldn't
being at
like
the end
that.
in like the hall, and I'm just literally like stuck there.
Oh, no, not for me.
Haunted place. So joining us from the studio live now is someone called Billy Bollinger, and you are from Chicago, aren't you, Billy?
Yeah, I am from Chicago, and I've had some.
Yeah, so Billy has been experiencing some supernatural suspicions ever since the passing of her grandpa. So, do you want to tell us a bit about that, Billy? What's happened?
Yeah, so May 5th of 2012, there was a supermoon that night, and my grandparents had a couple friends over. They had a great night, went to bed, got up and looked at the moon, and it was really nice, and then my grandma woke up the next morning and found that my grandpa had passed away in his sleep, and, you know, that was a big shock. And so our whole family got up to North Carolina with her, and we had to go get plates and cups and everything because people were going to be coming to her house. And so the first thing that happened, where we kind of felt like we were feeling Bud, my grandpa, we had to go to Walmart, which my grandma had never been to, and she was a little uncomfortable because she thought Bud might be mad because he didn't like their company and all stuff. So my aunt said, just jokingly, off the cuff, if we walk in and an alarm goes off, we'll know Bud's mad. And we walked in the door, and it was just beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
And then after that, we were going to scatter his ashes, and
scatter it.
So we were going to scatter his ashes, and my grandparents used to have a house in Canada, and when they had that, Bud his favorite thing was just drive around for hours and let anyone see any animal they wanted.
Okay.
And so we were driving to scatter his ashes on the Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina, and a tree was down, so we all had to turn back and go to another overpass. And when we got there, directly across the street, there was a mama bear and 2 little cubs just waiting for us.
So it's like he wanted you to see them.
Yeah.
See them. That's so amazing.
Yeah. And then there was one more a couple months later. My aunt and uncle and cousins were having dinner with my grandma, and my uncle was outside cleaning the grill. And Bud was always like very meticulous about everything being clean and put away exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was cleaning up, and he said, "Bud, is that okay?" And on a really still, warm night in August, a cold wind just went right over him and over the grill when he said that.
Oh, my word. My word. Have you been to see a medium?
No, I haven't been, but I'm actually on a waiting list to meet one when I get back to the United States.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, you'll have to let us know how that goes. And
yeah, definitely.
Good luck with that. I hope you do get something from that. It would be really interesting. So, thanks for joining us today, Billy. And if you are enjoying today's show, tweet us at Abnormal Activity and let us know if you believe in ghosts. Or maybe you've had your own experiences with the paranormal. So Billy's not the only one who's been experiencing signs of the supernatural, or maybe you don't believe in ghosts at all. We managed to catch up with a few members of the public, and here's their views.
I've seen ghosts. I'm dead people.
Ghosts? Nah, I believe in spirits.
I'm a bit sceptical, but I saw something once when I was a kid.
It's not possible. It's just not physically possible. Again, science prevails.
I've had close family members die and I've not seen them yet.
My mum had asked me to take these clothes upstairs, and where we lived, our slaves were closed in with the door. And as they opened the door and stepped in, there was a boy stood at the top of the stairs.
So I believe they think they're seeing something, but it's just their brain playing tricks on them.
No, I think there is something else, but I wouldn't say you come back in ghost form.
My father has performed an exorcism before now. Because a lady contacted him, things were moving around, she was hearing noises.
I've never seen what I think is a ghost myself, but my dad once said when he was young, he thought he'd seen a ghost. He thought that he'd seen what looked like a soldier walking very stiff-legged. You know, in a way it was something that couldn't be possible.
So, there were some sweet and scary stories there, definitely. It would seem that everyone's actually experienced ghost in one way or another. I was actually surprised as well at how many people had seen a ghost or actually knew someone who had actually had an experience with paranormal.
Yeah, I mean, it's like at work now when I go into work and people, a lot of people at work know that I do the ghost hunting and everything, and they all come up to me to tell me stories about stuff that they would never have told me if I didn't do it. Yeah. People are scared to sort of say it sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's not really brought up in casual conversation,
yeah,
is it? Yeah,
you're seen as a bit of a nutter if you believe in it.
So we wanted to make our own ghost story, so we actually went over to Smithers Hall. If you've never heard of Smithers Hall, it is a huge manor house dating back to the early medieval times. William Radcliffe was the owner of the hall, and it is said that he still haunts the place today. He's not the only person haunting the house. One of the maids at the hall actually threw herself down the stairs. She obviously died, and now there actually has been sightings and stuff like that from the place. So let's find out how we got on.
It's not safe to go up there, so
I'm really terrified about this. I'm really scared. We're in like someone's house that people actually used to live here. God, do you not think like it's a lot much colder in this room? Look at this dress. This is the drawing room. I feel like I'm seeing stuff move. I don't know, it's just me. Oh my god. Oh my god, look. Look at my camera. Look, what's that? Well, it's like a little orb moving. Look. Look, can you see it? Alex, can you see it? So that was actually pretty scary. Yes, they heard a scream there from me. It wasn't an umbrella this time. It was actually me and Alicia was walking through one of the halls, near the rooms, and Alicia stood on this panel, and it went bang again. My head went. I screamed. I couldn't cope. But the tour guide was very interesting. She told us a few interesting stories, which was good. And also we took pictures on our phones, and we noticed we had a few orb little symbols.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a few of these myself with the full spectrum camera. I seem to get them a little bit better.
Do you think they are ghosts?
They're the energy of ghosts, I think. I mean, they when I've asked them sort of about orbs, they've said that it's an egg.
Okay.
So perhaps it's we're using the wrong word for it, really. Orb.
Yeah,
I
maybe
think
it should be called an egg.
Yeah,
if
spirit egg.
Spirit egg. Why not? Why not? So maybe. Linda can help us out on this one, or maybe she can't because, she can only put it the future. Will it be called an egg? Will it be called an orb? You don't know. So let's catch up with what Linda had to say next.
Charlotte's rune stone reading.
This is what's above you, darling. This is the positive side of you. This is called Ken. This is a man offering gifts, so I don't know if watch for getting engaged. Watch for somebody offering you something really nice. It may even be an outlet work-wise as well, but I do feel all good around you. I do want to say, though, and I apologise for this, but I have to say this to you because Spirit's telling me to say it. This rune also means depression, so I'm not saying you're depressed, but somebody has been around you. And I want to, when you're in the dark, you can be you see spiritual people get really depressed as well. And there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Always a light at the end of the tunnel. Usually a train.
Whoever's quite low, there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. And I do apologise, I want to put it around one of your parents. Okay? Don't worry about them, they'll be fine. All right. Also, there's been an illness in the family too, because we're talking about an illness. Does that make sense, Chick?
Oh my word, Linda, I think she just said I was going to get engaged.
Yeah,
I'm only 21.
She's out to frighten you, I think.
I can't get engaged. No chance, no chance.
Well, you're getting ill as well, I think she said. I'm sure he heard that at some point as well.
Everyone gets ill at winter, and she did actually say as well that I have received a nice few gifts last month, which actually was true. But it was my birthday, so...
Did she know it was your birthday, though?
No, she didn't.
Oh, well,
I'll
give her some credit there, then.
She didn't know. She didn't know.
You didn't fill in an application form, then?
Oh, no, just had to ring her up, and then that was it.
I'm very suspicious with these things.
You never know.
The escape room.
3 tries. Should we try the Bandino?
Why have we only got 3 tries?
Hello, Alicia, you there?
Hello?
Hey there, you sound panicked then. We just caught the beginning of you. What's going on?
We're in room 13 now. Oh my Jesus. We're in room 13 now. This is the room that we were supposed to be staying in. There's writing all over the walls.
Oh my word. What?
Like telling us to get out, telling us to run away, but it's not safe. There's a shrine.
You sound like you're going to
to
cry.
God knows what. A possessed looking doll. It's horrible.
You sound really scared.
Honestly, I am absolutely terrified, and I don't know how we're going to get out of this.
Oh well, Alicia.
I can't figure it out for the life of me.
Alicia, we're going to leave you just there. We're going to leave you.
Please
don't. We're going to leave you. We're going to leave you to it. You need to get out of this room. You need to get out.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Alicia.
Yeah.
So, if you would like to put a guess on the time Alicia and the guys break out, or if they ever will escape the supernatural feeling of that room 13, tweet us with the hashtag Alicia's Escape.
You're listening to Abnormal Activity on Shock Radio.
So, there's not long left for Alicia. Bless her, she sounds really worried, doesn't she?
I've changed my mind, I wanted to get out now.
She's like, no, you want to see what happens. She sounds really panicked.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried
I
about
am
it
quite
now.
unsure she's going to make it. I'm not sure. She's not got long left. She's got 10 minutes. 10 minutes, Scott.
At least we'll find out what happens when she don't get out.
You never know. So, also, we'd just like to briefly touch upon, Scott, you know quite a bit about this. This is called the CERN Super Collider. What is it?
The Large Hadron Collider.
Go on.
They fire atoms around a huge...
Who fires atoms?
At CERN, sorry.
Right, okay.
It's they're in Switzerland and based in Geneva in Switzerland. It goes under the ground over the border of France and Switzerland. And they basically... They're smashing particles together to try and see what happened at the start of the universe.
Okay.
But in doing that, they're collecting dark matter as well. And it's that bit that I'm a bit interested in at the moment.
So you think they can open up some portal to the other side, to the spirit world?
Well, this is what they're saying, is they're going to open it up to another universe, which is what I believe is where the spirits reside. So, yeah, I think that's my next port of call, that is CERN.
Yeah, you're going to go and visit that, aren't you, as well?
Yeah, try and sneak in there and see what's going on.
Well, we'll be right back after this break.
Discover your way to the other side with our brand new line of paranormal entities for little ghosts and ghouls. Presenting My First Ouija Board. Now you can make more friends, whether they be living or not living.
Boy, do not use after midnight. All entities must be dealt with in a single household. Symptoms of recovery use include puking up PC, unnatural head turning, possible summoning of the dark one. Do not use with any child under the age of 2. Please run now while you still can.
From Fisher Price.
So, we've heard my past and we've heard my present. Let's find out more about my destiny as a person. If you'd like to have an input on Linda's room readings, don't forget to tweet us at Abnormal Activity and take it away, Linda.
Charlotte's runestone reading.
This is what's below you, honey. This is the negative side of you. I'm smiling at you because you're a very strong character and I can't help it. This is called Giroux. This is what comes around, goes around. This is the karma rune. You have got your karma. Somebody hurt you, you've hurt them back. There is a justice rune as well, all right? Don't freak. It's any form of contract, any form of marriage. I'm not putting a marriage on you at all. But I'm saying watch for a contract coming, because there's a contract coming for you. You're going to do very well. You're definitely going to do very well. You're very connected on a work level, and I want to say not now but watch for later on where there'll be a partnership with you and somebody else on a work level that'll work very well for you. Okay. You just passed exams, or you training for something?
No.
I've got to give you either exams or a test, or I've got to give you that. Whatever it is, you're going to do very well, hon. All right. I don't want to know. I'm just passing on what they're telling me to tell you.
So, she doesn't want to know, but doesn't know. Okay.
You're a very clever girl as well. You've got quite a good memory. You can remember things from being young. and that's helped a lot for you as well. So, this is your outcome, and I said choose a good one, didn't I? And you chose Pioth, and Pioth is the secret room, so I had to ask for another one for you. All right, just to work out what I need to tell you. Can be quite secretive yourself. You're quite deep girl, and I do want to say not everybody knows you, and you don't let a lot of people in. Does that make sense, hon? And I want to say you need to keep doing that because it's the best for you, all right? You are very spiritual, honey. Can't not give you that, all right? Watch for that developing. One day you will be able to do what I do if you don't do it already. I want to say you're quite interested in it.
So that was my number 4 of the runestones of Linda. She did say again, marriage, engaged, I've got married now. What do you think of that, Scott? I think she's predicting that. And also she said exams. I've passed the exams. I literally looked at her and I was like, no, I'm sorry, I can't take that one.
Yeah, I mean, she knows that you've come from the university as well, so she's having a bit of a guess there, you know.
Yeah,
true. It's all just cold
And she did
reading.
say, I'm interested in being a psychic myself, so I am quite spiritual as a person. I don't know where she's getting that vibe from.
Yeah, I'm not getting that vibe.
Not a clue.
But I'm not psychic, so.
Yeah. We are currently joined in the studio now by Pull the Udder One presenter, Megan. How are you, Megan?
Hello, Charlotte. I'm good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. So, what have you got coming up on the show for us?
Well, we have got this week's presenter versus producer challenge, where we go to a farm and we do some challenges on the farm. We've also got this week's edition of the Marchers, which we've all been waiting to see what happens. And we have got See What Happened When Paul Learned How to Be an Auctioneer at a Cattle Auction.
Really?
Also happened on the show.
Wowee, wowee. So, right, before you go, we'll pass over to you guys on a very quick quiz.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're going to be good at these or not.
Okay.
So, here goes. What are the names of the 4 ghosts from Pac-Man?
You've
not a clue?
Did they got names?
Yeah, they have actually. Inky, Pinky, Blinky and Clyde.
Okay.
So, who earned the moniker of the Friendly Ghost?
Casper, the Friendly Ghost Casper.
Yeah, that's correct. Well done, Megan. Which Disney attraction, this is the final one, 3. Which Disney attraction turned into a feature-length movie in 2003 starring Eddie Murphy as the star role?
The Haunted Mansion, was that it?
Yes, Megan won. Sorry, Scott.
I don't watch telly.
Sorry about that.
Maybe I watched too much.
Sorry about that. Right, I think, what time is it? I wonder how Alicia's doing. Alicia, are you there?
Hello. Well, we've got one more room to break out of. But
you've got 3 minutes.
I know.
Quick.
We're running around frantically trying to look for like some kind of pattern or a sign or a code, but we don't know where to
Liam,
look.
help Alicia.
Sam and Liam are just running around like headless chickens.
Oh my
I think
word.
they're starting to panic now.
Right, Alicia, we're going to have to love you and leave you. Thanks, and we hope you make it out, and we'll hear from you soon.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. So, it's time to hear our final rune from Linda.
Charlotte's runestone reading.
So I asked you to choose another one, and this one's making me smile because I don't feel this is you, but I have to say it to you anyway. This is called Thorn, and this means thorn in my side. You're like a dog with a bone when you're worrying about something, you just won't let it go. Does that make sense, hon? And so you get to the bottom of things. You remind me of me because it's a niggle. You've got to do it. Does that make sense? You're a bit like Sherlock Holmes, if you like.
It must have a purpose. Or our universe has no meaning, and that is unthinkable.
There is on a personal level, you don't always say how you feel. And I'm talking about relationships here. You don't always say how you feel. I feel that you need to say how you feel now, and everything will work out for you. There is somebody in your life, hon, that's meant for you. I feel quite good about this person, and I think this person will treat you really, really well. But the problem with you is, Charlotte, is that you don't always show your feelings. You sort of hold back. Does that make sense, hon?
So, those are my lovely predictions by Linda. I guess I'll just have to wait and see what the future holds for me. So, that was the end of my runestone reading by Linda. All of them, really. What do you think of that, Scott?
Cold reading that all the way through.
Seriously?
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Not even some of them where she was like, What'd she say?
I could give you a more accurate reading than that, and I'm not psychic.
Oh, I think you're turning into a medium and then a psychic. So, thanks to Megan, and you're coming up next with Pull the Udder.
We certainly are. Pull the Udder one, actually.
Oh, Pull the Udder one.
Do you get it?
Yes, I get it. So, thanks for joining us, guys, and I hope you've really enjoyed the show. You may not, I may have a few different views on psychics and the paranormal, and we hope you've opened your minds to any abnormal activities going on or not. Just in the world, you know, because you never know what's around you and you never know what's around the corner, literally. Don't go to any graveyards in the night, that's all I'm saying. So I'd just like to thank Scott and Billy for coming on and sharing their stories and for joining us today. Coming next is Megan with the Farming Show, so here it is, keep listening.